Our membership figures stood at 700. Listen properly.
We announced that our membership figures stood at. Let my people go so that they can come and watch this, video. Greetings to the retail investor community. Greetings to those who are new to the retail investor community. I sincerely appreciate you having to take the chance and press on that button and view the video. In this podcast, in this show, we seek to provide retail investors with practical and useful financial information so that they can make a really sound financial or investment decision. Yesterday, it was the South African State of the Nation address, which was addressed by the president, obviously. The president mentioned a lot of achievements that South Africa had in 2025, and obviously some struggles and some failures. One of the relevant achievements in this podcast is the performance of the stock exchange. I don't remember any South African president having to mention the stock exchange in their State of the Nation address. Obviously, the Minister of Finances would mention the stock exchange, but the president, I don't remember any. If you know that there was a president who mentioned the stock exchange, please do comment on that. So the President Ramaphosa did mention the stock exchange, and in highlighting the stock exchange, he mentioned that it was the best performing stock exchange in Africa. And to add on to what he said, globally, the South African Stock Exchange performed best globally, even beating the NASDAQ, the United States Stock Exchange, and also the UK Stock Exchange. I mean, the proof is in the slides that I've just shown here on the right side of this podcast, on this video. So the annual return for the South African Stock Exchange was at around 38%, 39%, whilst the United States was at around 28% and the UK at around 26, 27. But the number one best performing stock exchange is the South Korean Stock Exchange, the number one best performing. Okay, I mentioned all of this. I'm getting to one of the companies that did not perform today, on the 13th of February, which is CLC. They released their interim results today, but the stock price did not really react positively towards that because of some items in the stock on the balance sheet or on their results, on the interim results. So I'm providing the 5 reasons why CLC is a good investment case and the 5 reasons why not CLC is a good investment case. Okay, let's start with the 5 reasons why not CLC. Okay, number 1, which you would obviously also guess, is competition. I mean, there's huge competition in the telecommunication space in South Africa. Firstly, the sun rays coming. Okay, so competition. MTN has more than 31 million customers. Vodacom has more than 51 million customers. Telkom active subscribers, and Telkom has more than 18 million customers. How much do you think active subscribers for CLC are? Okay, I have you guessed it right, 7.6 million. So you see that huge gap there. So it's a tough one for CLC. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, CLC is dependent on the network infrastructure of MTN and Vodacom. So in order for CLC to be able to run its network, they need to be connected on the roaming infrastructure from MTN and Vodacom. So let's say if Vodacom decides not to renew the contract for CLC, or if MTN decides not to renew their contract with CLC, what will happen to CLC? So that's reason number two. Reason number three, why not CLC, is because of the dividend policy. Okay, you see, Vodacom pays their dividend policy is at 75% of headline earnings. In other words, the money they make from their main operations, 75% of that will go to shareholders. With CLC, the dividend policy is between 30 and 50%, and it's from the free cash flow. In other words, the money that is remaining after everything has been paid. And CLC will only be declaring dividends in hopefully in 2027. In 2027, or they're planning to declare dividends in 2027. So that's the reason why not CLC. Number four, Wi-Fi network companies. I'm sure you've heard of FiberTime or Vuma. These guys are taking on the data network industry, or providing internet connections. So instead of me now having to buy data from my network provider, I'll rather buy my £5 fiber time, because I'll be staying at home for the whole of the week. Maybe when I come back to work, because on work I won't be using my phone, so I'll be buying fiber time or Vuma. So that's a huge revenue impact on all of the telecommunications companies, because now with Vuma, you get to buy unlimited data, or at least for one day, with five friends. So the especially if Celsius has a small number of subscribers on their network, then that will be a huge blow in terms of their revenue making ability. And the fifth one, analysts from many of the top firms in South Africa, for instance, including Sasfin and Penguela, Global Funds, this was quoted on a Daily Investor, actually also agree with me that it's tough in the telecommunications industry, in that CLC, they don't believe that CLC can be able to, or CLC has to work a huge turnaround in order to be able to survive in the telecommunications industry, because there's huge competition. Okay, now the five reasons why CLC is a good investment case. Number one, Capital Connect, Old Mutual Connect, FNB Connect. All these companies are offering also SIM cards and networks. So they are called the mobile virtual network operators. So people are buying, I think there are about 1 million subscribers to the Capital Connect network. I'm mentioning this because the Capital Connect, the FNB Connect, is connected on the CLC platform. So Capital Connect is powered by CLC in order to be able to operate. So CLC has Capitec as their customer, and Capitec is connected with huge, I mean, almost close to 40%, 20% of South Africans are banking with Capitec. So obviously that's going to be a huge advantage for CLC with FNB and also with Old Mutual. And the second reason why sales is a good investment case, because it's much more cheaper compared to the other peers, MTN, Vodacom. You can get the sales share price at 29 rands, whereas you can get the Vodacom at around 155 and MTN at around also 192. I checked that one out. And also Telcom at around 56 rands. So you can see the gap there is huge. It's much more easy to buy CLC. And number three, the 5G networks. So CLC, because CLC does not pay for its own infrastructure for networks, it's easier for CLC to move into the 5G. The people that are going to be incurring the costs and huge capital expenditure for the 5G is going to be MTN and Vodacom and Telcom. So they're going to be the ones. So CLC will be able to save on that. And also another one for CLC that is much more good. The fifth reason is that the former CEO of Vodacom is the one heading CLC. So good management in that is really necessary for a company to succeed. And then now, for the last reason is that, one of the best performing banks. Okay, wait, you see the sun is coming out. Wait. Okay, nice. Not. Okay, let's go a bit. So for the Investec is one of the best performing banks in the UK and also in South Africa. So they're picking up CLC as its turnaround is doing well. So yeah, those are the 5 reasons why CLC is a good investment case. Is a good investment case. Hope it helps. Let's go.